What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Angry Jackalope, Rob Bricks. I'm back, motherfuckers. And today we're going to actually do some conspiracy shit. Yes, indeed. Conspiracy stuff. Yeah, I debated. I seriously debated. I was kind of like, I don't know. Do I want to put a bullseye on my fucking self and talk some shit? Or what? So I said, fuck it. Fuck it, I will. But before we get too far into everything, my good friend Grim, Paul Grim, from Grim Ghost Tours, one of my good friends. I told him, because he's got this show popping off every Monday for October. I saw his ad running, and I said, fuck it. I'll throw that bitch up on my show too, just so anybody that happens to be here in Utah can go check out his little ghost tours and stuff like that. Because I've actually been on this tour. It was actually pretty good. Let's say what's up to everybody. The early birds get to worm. We got Backwoods Jackalope, what's uppers. We got Corley Robertson, Amara Survival. We got Stevie G. What's up, my brother? We got the Tinchy Jackalope. We got the Jackalope. Thank you for that. Kind words there, Mr. Jackalope. We got Garen, Thanalope. Oh, hell yeah. And let's see. Okay, that's it. All right, so I'm gonna run Grim's deal real quick here. One second. Ooh. So yeah, so that was the intro. What's up, Bronx Jackalope? Woof Bert? Yeah. Oh shite. I gotta be careful here. I haven't poured my drink yet, but I will be doing. And also, I dog tags. So a little backstory. So this one right here was actually sent to me as part of that epic care package from Jackalope. Jackalope sent me some dog tags that actually are pretty cool. It says Angry Jackalope 2018, zero fucks and never quit, which parts of my mantra. And it got me thinking, damn, that's pretty cool. And here's some serendipity and some synchronicity that shit happened. I was oh, cool. I was sitting on Facebook one day and an ad popped up for some fucking dog tags. And I'm like, what's the fucking chance of that? I'm like, is the Facebook like looking and seeing shit and then they're pushing me ads based off of shit that I'm wearing? So anyway, I looked at the thing and it was actually kind of cool because it was not too bad for me to get double-sided tags. Here, I'll give you guys a close-up here on it. Boom. So, you know, I got 40 of them. Well, actually, I got 50, but I put 10 to the side, you know, because the kids want some and some of my my friends locally, and then I'm going to put some to the side for, like, giveaways and shit like that. So there's about 40 of these that are for sale right now, and these are the 2018 limited edition dog tags. These are going to be just like the Jackalope Crew patches and the regular patches. They're 2018 editions, and when they're gone, they're gone. I'm not going to do this color combination and blah, blah, blah again. So there's 40 of them. If it's something you guys are interested in, it's $8 shipped. Doesn't matter where the fuck you guys are. You can be anywhere in the fucking world. And, you know, that's it. So check that out. The links to that shit is, fuck, I guess I'll put it here in the chat. I'll just type it. Easier that way, I guess. theangryjackalope.sells.com if you are so inclined. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, I want to, bro. I want to. I actually have a design and stuff. It's a little complicated though. We'll see what happens with that. But let's get into the conspiracy stuff, shall we? All right. I didn't know if I was going to do this, but fuck it. I'm already going. So let's do this. So the stock market's been a little bit funky as of the last few days. We'll get to the points in a second, but there's been some speculations recently that we might see a repeat of the historic Black Monday. And Black Monday was an event that popped off in the 80s where there was a huge drop off that happened. And actually, it's funny you even mentioned the put that shit on a shirt because I actually had some shirts that had that base design on the one side, and then there's actual limited edition hoodies and stuff right now that actually have the Jackalope crew stuff on the front, I believe, and has that same pattern on the back. But I don't think I have any new shirts recently with that stuff in it. So there's been some people, I've been hearing a whole lot of people speculating that they're afraid there's going to be a big drop come Monday, which would rival this Black Monday that happened, I believe, let's see, what was this, 87? So let's hope not. I personally don't think that's going to happen. I think what we're seeing here is the beginning of a downward trend, but I'm not so sure it's going to be an abrupt thing. And if it is, that's going to be pretty shitty. But, you know, just like anything else, we can weather it out. It's not that big of a deal. So the reason that some people are freaking out is because the stocks dropped 831 points. Oh shit, yeah. Go handle your business, brother. You'll be able to watch this on a thing. Stocks dropped 831 points on Wednesday, 546 on Thursday, and then we got a little bit of a rally yesterday, 287 points. So that's kind of cool, but there's a reason that people are kind of speculating that some bad shit's about to go down, and it's because of the fucking Rothschilds. So there was an article put out in This Economist, which is a Rothschild-owned magazine for the most part, that was talking about a world currency October 2018. And so there was a date, 10-10-18, floating around on the conspiracy corners for a while. And so when the market started dropping, that could have been a telltale sign that, you know, that's like the go flag. Let's go do this. And that had me keeping an eye on things. And I was kind of like, that's pretty fucking interesting. I do think that the market's going to do a correction. Ron Paul has suggested that much for quite some time now. Whether or not it's an abrupt thing or if it's a gradual thing, it's sort of irrelevant. We'll get to the reason why it's kind of academic going forward as we get deeper into this conspiracy. But just roll with it because oh, you're okay, apocalyptic bone daddy. we just got started. I'm kind of setting the stage on the stock market and things like that, and going to talk a little bit about the Illuminati, Rothschilds, and things of that nature. So before we get too deep in this, we need to talk about a couple of things. First of all, our U.S. debt right now. Understand it's a correction, a blip, not a crisis. Exactly. It's exactly. I'm not saying it's a crisis, not by any shape. I'm talking about the people that are saying that this is going to lead to a huge Black Monday followed by blah, 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 blah. You wouldn't see a crisis unless there's actually a run on the bank, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm just kind of doing some academic background here for people that aren't understanding the things and get knee-jerk reactions and start freaking the fuck out, because anything that happens has to be taken with a grain of salt, and you have to have a certain measure of composure and not really freak out. Even when the shit starts to go funny, you still need to keep your head on you. So right now the US debt's 21.6 trillion. That equals out to $65,771 per citizen. As far as taxpayers are concerned, because there's a, you're talking citizens, you're talking little kids and shit like that. But if you're talking taxpayers, our share of that 21.6 trillion is $177,284. And there's a lot of folks that have pretty much said it's impossible at this particular phase to pay it off, to get it past, to recover off of a $21.6 trillion debt. That's a lot of fucking money. So, how are they going to possibly solve this? Okay. Yeah, really talk about chump change, right? Fuck it. I got that. I'll throw my part in. No problem. Let's see, what did I make on YouTube last month? Oh, yeah, I made $5.76 or something like that. That should put a dent in it, right? That should put a dent into it. Actually, you know what? Before we start to get into the real speculative what ifs, because we're gonna go down some funny rabbit holes here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little Kraken, a little bit of Kraken rum. I'm gonna pour that in this cool little glass here. Ooh, that's about a double shot. Normally I use when I'm mixing my drinks and stuff like that. Normally I keep something like this, and I'll go ahead and just do a single shot. But this is going to be a fun what if evening, so I'm like, fuck it. We're just gonna, and then I'm gonna add some root beer to this Kraken rum. I came across this drink. It's called a Kraken Barrel, or a what is it? A barrel. Let's see, barrel. A barrel beer, I think is what the drink was called when I first was exposed to this, and I was like, okay, that's cool. So anyway, cheers, motherfuckers, to your guys' health. Oh yeah, that's actually pretty good. I do like that. Okay, so we're gonna play a little what if, okay? Because first and foremost, let's establish what is the Illuminati. From a traditional sense of the word. So the Illuminati is comprised of a bunch of old families, and this is an image that I found. There's a few names here that should pop out at you, should make you go, oh, interesting. For the sake of this discussion, what we're going to do is we're just going to refer to the Rothschild Illuminati, because we'll just keep that in our mind, okay? So, in regards to President Trump, the group that he is battling against, that is the quote-unquote swamp, are basically Rothschild Illuminati puppets. So we'll just keep that math kind of simple. So if the Illuminati is not backing Trump and Trump is fighting against the Illuminati, then who is backing Trump? Who's got his back? Because understand, I don't give a fuck how much money you have. We're talking an organization that has assassinated plenty of political heads. If you really want to touch one, JFK is one that you can go ahead and take a look at. Let's see, Apocalypse Bonetti. It's because the debt was on purpose. Yep. Need people equals more obedience. More obedience equals less Rome. Therefore, Illuminati is bad. Oh, President Trump is Batman fighting the deep state and the globalist. Okay, so Trump's a smart guy, and we'll get to reason why he's a smart guy. So first and foremost, let's establish that this debt at this point is not recoverable. There's just too much fucking money. It doesn't matter what we do, it's just not going to happen. So let's say Trump is able to drain the swamp, okay? And so he basically carts off a lot of the motherfuckers that people have been pointing to, saying that they are complacent with everything that the Illuminati has done. And, you know, um, they get a military tribunal and they are tried as enemy combatants and they're carted off to Gitmo. I thought this was a funny little meme that I found on Facebook and figured it was appropriate for this particular discussion here. Now, understand, right at this particular point, America's feeling pretty goddamn divided. I know a lot of people have lost friends supporting Trump or even saying that they're Republican and vice versa. Democrats lost Republican friends and things of that nature, which is really sad because uh, regardless of our ideologies and everything else, we're all fucking Americans. And we should all be able to get along. Is the Rothschilds part of the deep state? Yes, they are. Rothschilds are kind of like the bankers behind a lot of those agendas. Not to be violent, what I mean, as soon as we get rid of one corrupt Rothschild, whatever person, there's always going to be more in their place, like a Hydra. Yes, indeed. That is going to be where we're going to go with this little rabbit hole. So stick with me. Stick with me, apocalyptic. Don't get too far ahead, you know. So, understand what this will cause is basically a civil war. Okay? And things are going to get really fucking stupid, and, you know, it might come to blows. I'm not sure it will. Let's see. Therefore, public lynching should be a thing. Teach them a lesson. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah. So understand, there's a certain amount of theater that's going to be involved with a lot of this. So keep that in mind, because the one thing that these motherfuckers understand is you don't want to get the people too riled up, because the people, when riled up, tend to go and grab all of the elites and chop off their fucking heads and do stuff like that, because there's a lot more of us than there are of them. So there's a little gentle dance that has to happen. Okay, now the Civil War will pop off. Now, what could quell the flames of a civil war? Well, how about a world war, World War III, with China and Russia as the enemy, that starts to ratchet things up to a very, very, very uncomfortable level that suddenly scares all of the Americans into saying, holy shit, it's motherfucking World War III. Fuck. We got to handle this shit. Okay. Stick with me now. Follow the logic here. So it starts to get near the doomsday clock. Shit starts to get scary. Think Bay of Pigs. Things start to get, you know, really ratcheted, right? Well, it gets there. Suddenly Trump diplomatically figures out ways for us all to get along. He starts busting the kumbaya. Can't we all just get along? Can't we all just get along? Some form of an olive branch, and China and Russia both agree war serves nobody, especially a world war. It would basically be stupid. Okay. A friend tells me that Putin is fighting a globalist something. Yeah, don't know really. I agree with that. Now I'm remember now, theater. Think wrestling. Good guys, bad guys, good guys, bad guys, good guys, bad guys. Theater. Okay, keep that in mind. So then, after Trump works out this peace talks between the evil empire. They come back and say, fine, we'll do this with these with some things. We need to change some things up. Now, during this whole World War III buildup, the markets fucking crash. Everything goes fucking crazy. So then enter the United Federation of North America. And basically this reserve note that you're looking at here, we're going to change this. This is not going to be from one of the Rothschild banking conglomerates. It's not going to be from the Fed. It's not going to be, the IMF. None of those motherfuckers. This is actually going to be something that is going to be created by banks in Mexico, some banks here in the U.S., and banks in Canada. And what we'll see is the fall of the Federal Reserve. So this is not going to be a Federal Reserve note. Okay, I'm thinking that that's going to go to the wayside. But this was something that the Rothschild Illuminati have been working on for a while. They were trying to get a one world currency. Okay, but this opposing faction says, fuck no. So now we got this shit. Okay, and what's interesting about this is, let me get it a little bigger here for you guys. So we will see central bank approved U.S. Federal Reserve, Canada, and Banco de Mexico. So we're going to see different deals here, but it's the same result. Okay, it's going to be the Amero. Okay, and that's going to be the new North American currency. So this big crazy debt that we have, it's gone. It's zeroed out. Doesn't exist anymore. Okay, in return for that, we're giving up a little bit of this U.S. sovereignty, and we're basically saying, okay, we're part of this big giant North American continent now, right? So we have Mexico, America, and Canada, right? So why is this? Why would Trump do this? Why would Trump agree to this? Because Trump's not dumb. Trump is not dumb. Watch this. Watch this. This is the value of the dollar right now. Okay, this is what has happened with our dollar as time has passed. So our dollar has gone from actually having a true value to basically being worth less than the paper it's printed on. Okay? The dollar is not backed by gold. It hasn't been backed by gold since the 70s, 71 to be more specific. But what replaced the gold standard was the petro. So we had what was called a petrodollar. Okay? Now, as we've gone through this wonderful journey, there have been a few other people that have tried to step away from the petrodollar. So we had Saddam Hussein. He tried to step away from the dollar in 2000. He got hung. You got Omar Gaddafi, 2009. He was going to go with the denari, gold. He got some knives crammed up his ass, and basically they paraded his body around. Syria dropped it 2006, and we saw what happened there. And now we've got China and Russia, as well as Iran, proposing a petro yuan. Okay? So, hey, what's up, Ethereal Warrior? So, it would be cool to just go back to gold. Yeah, exactly. Gold is still fucking immensely valuable to this day. So then we got this petro yuan, this situation now. Obviously, we can't go in and bitch slap them around like we did Libya, Syria, and Iraq. I'm talking China and Russia here. So Trump, not being an idiot, can see the writing on the wall and says, well, shit, the dollar has no value to it. The debt is so fucking astronomically high, there's no way to resolve that. We can't do another war because the war won't fucking do anything. We've been perpetually in war for a while, and our war machinery is running down. It needs more money to retrofit and fix that. So, Okay, you know what? Let's drain the swamp. Let's get rid of the old guard. Now, who could possibly be counterpoint to the Illuminati? Well, guess what? China has its own form of the Illuminati. It's the triad, which is also funny because if you look at a lot of these Illuminati symbols, there's pyramids everywhere. What is a triad? It's a triangle, basically. So you've got China with the triad and the watching underneath the triad. There is no European banks in China. China is its own deal. Russia is not strong enough from an economic and financial point of view to be the face of the petro currency. So China can. Um, so with China acting as the bad guys and Russia backing them, that puts strain on the US dollar. Because if the US dollar is not the preferred currency to back oil, then the dollar will die. Trump knows this. That's why he's been reworking all of these trade deals, because he's trying to get all of our trade deals in a better position for when the dollar fails. So now some people say, well, why would Trump do this? Because he does love America, okay? But he also loves himself. And imagine this. You pretty much have everything. And as a man, one thing that is priceless to a man is the legacy he leaves behind. And I don't know if any of the guys in this chat, in this watching this, has ever looked at their mortality and realized, holy shit, I work all of this, that, and everything else. And what happens when I die? Who's going to remember me? What's my legacy? So you think about people like Socrates, and you think about the names that live on thousands and thousands of years after they've gone. I think Trump would love to be remembered thousands of years as the person who saved the American experiment, evolved it into a bigger platform, and restored peace on the planet. Because imagine, so America's badass in and of itself, okay? But people have always said, well, what about America against Russia, or America against China? Well, imagine the unified front now is China, Russia, and America. Nobody could fuck with that. You could pretty much mandate anything, and no one could oppose you. Okay? So all America would have to say is, look, you guys are communists. Keep your communist system. We want to keep our American structure the way it is. That way our people stay happy and they don't go fucking batshit crazy. Because remember, there was a civil war that was averted because of a world war. Then a world war, there was peace brought, and now suddenly we are all unified in a nice global economy. Well, so the agenda that the Rothschild Illuminati was trying to push forward gets sidetracked and hijacked by the triad. And the triad in Russia now feel better because Putin has said for a long time, he liked the mutually assured destruction because that created peace on the planet. Nobody was fucking with nukes. But when America started to put these missile shields in different countries, then suddenly they had like a 0.1% or 0.2 or even a 3% chance of success. That tipped the balance. Now, if suddenly everybody was like, oh, everybody's on the same page, no one fucks with Russia, America, and China. Well, now, that's a coup d'etat if I've ever saw one. And for the most part, that wouldn't be a bad situation as long as China and Russia didn't overstep their boundaries and suddenly step into America and start saying, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. If they allowed us our sovereignty to keep with this North American Union, so Mexico's still Mexico, but it's part of this bigger piece, and America's America, and then that, but we just have a shared currency, okay? But we could still do our own thing, and now we could just focus on ourselves instead of policing the world, because now we don't necessarily have to police the world, because with the shared efforts of China, Russia, and America, we could easily share that burden of policing the world. That's why I'm thinking, holy shit, this this makes sense. So, I'm kind of like, huh, now, what could possibly side rail this chess game? Now, remember, we're talking what ifs here. This is not what I'm saying is going to happen, but it's something that logically makes sense. And especially if you look at the moves that Trump has been making, and somebody would say, well, China and, we're in a trade war and everything else. Remember, theater. This is all set in a stage. You can't just suddenly spark off a war without some bad blood and some other, skin in the game. You got to make the shit believable, right? So, now how could they possibly stop this from happening? Well, there are some things that are happening around the planet which could easily derail this and change everything drastically. One of those is Cascadia fault line. If it pops off, it can cause a whole lot of pain and a whole lot of problems in a very short period of time. And right now, the Ring of Fire has been active like I haven't seen it before. And but we haven't seen any activity in our areas that has been reported on, and this is past due. So that's one thing. Another one would be Yellowstone. If Yellowstone were to pop off, that would be kind of a reset anyway. And I mean, you're looking at near extinction level event that resets everything, where all these elites and everything go hide in their bunkers and wait it out, whatever else. They could play some fucking Fallout shit. You know what I mean? Real life Fallout, sitting in a bunker. Now, these are easy for them to set off because there's already weapons that modify weather, things of that nature. So popping off an earthquake or causing some kind of a problem to hit Yellowstone would not be difficult with the technologies that they already are fucking with right now. They could also just simply, fuck it, assassinate Trump, right? But, that may or may not work because he might have enough people and redundancy built in to handle that. Okay. They could do a lights out scenario where they could say Russia or North Korea or any bad guy that they want to fabricate. They could say they popped an EMP on us and that knocked our infrastructure out. That would be catastrophic for us. There could also be aliens. Aliens could come down and cause a disruption, all of this shit, And any of those would cause the shift to go back so that the shadow government would be able to do what they do best, which is to fuck us deeply in the ass. So, Trump carries a 0-point force field at all times. That would be dope. And so, I mean, take everything that we just talked about with a grain of salt because, some people would say that seems a little crazy. But when you stop and think about all the things that we've experienced for decades and decades, is it really that crazy? I mean, when you start to really look at what some of these elites are fucking around with, that rabbit hole gets really scary quick. Stalking, a little late. What's up, guys? What's going on? Holy shit, dude. You just missed a crazy what-if conspiracy conversation where I kind of postulated my theory on what I think is going on with Trump and the Illuminatis. I guess I could summarize. So the powers that be that are backing Trump, I believe, are the Triad Illuminati, which is basically the Chinese Illuminati. I think the Western Illuminati, or the Rothschild Illuminati, is freaking the fuck out because they didn't expect China to play a fucking power move like they did. And so Trump, he probably has clones. You know what? There could be, man. There could be. I don't even know. And then I basically outlined the benefits of what would happen. The debt would go down to zero. There would be a new currency that would be created. But also, in short, understand that type of a scenario would not be bloodless. There would be problems. There would be a lot of. I think there was going to be a lot of casualties in the quote unquote civil war. I think some of that will be fabricated as they try to cause more chaos. There's a lot of variables that could be put in play, but we'll know. We'll know if this what if starts to play out if suddenly uh, we start seeing some of these elites that we thought were untouchable suddenly sitting in military tribunals facing um, crimes that will get them cock meat sandwiches for days in Gitmo. So if we see that, then I'm going to be like this. And then we'll see what happens from there. You know what I mean? Because I know if we see Hillary and Obama in orange heading off to fucking Gitmo, and we see this basically right here, we see this shit, you know, sorry, not that one. This one, we see this shit going down. You know, all the folks that love them and support them and everything else are gonna lose their shit. I mean, they are gonna lose shit like no one has ever seen before. And I'm gonna be like, holy shit. And if they get dumb, try to fuck with me, well, all right, that's cool. I'd rather talk and have a rational conversation with a motherfucker and just try to talk them down. But they pop off, I pop off, and we'll see who's a better shot. I guess. I don't know. We'll see. So, that's my conspiracy corner what if for the day. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I was sitting there, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, and he said, "What do you think is going on?" And I basically dropped that down and went there. You know, oh yeah, backwoods. They are definitely shitting kittens right now. Definitely shitting kittens. Um, we need you to survive. I'd like to survive too, no matter what. Eunice trying to rule the world with her Agenda 21. Exactly, exactly. Many more constraints on capitalism. That is very true. Very true. You know, the Agenda 21 is kind of a funny thing, and it lends itself to the whole Georgia Guidestones, and that's what I think popped off China. I think the Illuminati allowed some of their plans to leak, and they were talking about dropping the Chinese population down to 500 million. And I think China said, "Bitch, please, I don't fucking think so." And I think that caused a huge, irrevocable war between the two factions. And I think China looked and said, "You know what? There is some value to having a North American Union because again, we're simplifying the currency, we're simplifying trade, you know, because China's all about their money. They're all about their money and influence and power. Russia also, you know, everybody likes to point at ideology, ideology, ideology. No, 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 no. It's about influence, power, and you know, the ideology is a means to control the masses. It's not really what they give a flying fuck about. Because if you look at China, China's kind of like a hybrid, capitalistic, communistic, you know, monster blend. It's a mashup, some weird shit. What about this iffy about the? That's already been done. That particular ICANN maintenance finished day before yesterday, actually. That's a fear mongering story. That's fine. I'm on desk. I'm doing my job right now. And if things were really fucked up, one, we wouldn't be doing this. Two, I'd be getting tons of alerts, things of that nature. So that ICANN thing with the encrypted bits and whatnot, they let all the ISPs know months and months and months ahead of time and say, hey, we're going to do this. You guys need to update your key pairs to be ready for when we do this switchover. And ISPs were not about to fuck off and have major backbones go down. So they were compliant with ICANN, and it was fine. So that's not a big deal. We're good in regards to that. Money and power, the ultimate ideology. Yes, they are, and they are the ultimate control mechanisms. August Spain, we as humans have created technologies capable of reading our brainwave patterns and see our emotions or our inner monologues. Well, really, when you stop and think about it, even having an inner monologue or anything else, your brain's still firing its synapses and everything else. So, the problem with the technology is it has to be surface based, so it has to sit like a hat or something to be able to monitor those things. Now we have electric magnetic flowing around our body. We have this EMF field around us, and if you ever want to prove that to somebody, you could do the experiment I do with my kids. I did this with the other day with my daughter. I said, okay, stick out your weak arm, right? And then don't let me push it down, okay? I said, now with your strong arm, I want you to take a paper clip and just hold the paper clip like this. And when she did that, I could push that arm down no problem. She said, wow, that's crazy. Why is that? I said, because we've got electric magnetic flow that flows around our body. And when you had that metal paper clip that was sitting there, the energy was flowing off, broke the line, and suddenly you got your body is weakened. So there's a lot of energy that flows around us and everything else. And they've already had research where they said close proximity to somebody, you're sharing energy. Energy is flowing back and forth. So thoughts and things of that nature, those are just, your brain has this electricity flying all the time as you're thinking and stuff like that. And so that's also changing your energy around your body. So having a sensor that can sit there and pick up those little subtle shifts and learning, because each person is going to be a little bit different, but once you figure out the baseline for a person, yeah, you probably can do that. 5G is fucking horrible. 5G is a fucking nightmare. Let's see here. If that were true, the government is watching hardcore clown porn by reading my brain. That's horrible. Stalking Wolf, still got those dog tags? Yes, I do. They are, so far, nobody's bought any yet. I haven't gotten any emails where anybody's bought anything. So there's 40 of them. They're up there. If you guys want them, just go on to the Angry Jackalope .sells with a Z.com. Yeah, 5G is a fucking nightmare. Here in Utah, they are retrofitting the antennas everywhere. Every fucking where. And I am not cool. Yeah, it's a microwave cellular level weapon. Yeah, it's the same shit they're using with crowd control and stuff like that. So I will be wearing a tinfoil hat, literally. Only problem with tinfoil hats is the heat that comes off your head gets up in there and it gets really hot. So I have to figure out some way to retrofit a regular hat so you can put the tinfoil there and still protect your fucking brain. Be able to melt you from the inside out. Yeah. Well, as far as the mass culling and everything else, they're already doing it, just doing it in a way where they can make money on it. The foods and things of that nature, that's what they're doing. No, you know what, Jackalope, don't worry about it. I got you on that one. Since you were kind of the catalyst for me wanting to do this anyway. Yeah, portable Faraday cages. Yeah, Mila works against that. Yeah, that's good. That's good because need to figure out carbon fibers as good as tinfoil. See, this is great. This is the kind of shit people need to know about because there's a lot of funny shit going on. And it seems like it's all kind of speeding up towards something. I was watching some videos earlier showing a lot of different haggard dildos. Show them pain. I was watching some stuff where like the Hubble and a few other telescopes were turned off for like maintenance or some other shit. And that's kind of like, what the fuck? Especially on top of, that thing that popped off where that observatory was shut down and the FBI ransacked it and Black Hawk helicopters were flowing through, and then they said it was off some fucking pedophiles. Like, give me a fucking break. You guys must think we're fucking stupid. Mr. Morris, as long as I can still drink vodka and bang Asian hookers, then it's all good. There you go. Snort coke off their ass or whatever else. Just snort them if you got them. Yeah. So, Yeah, I've got a National Guard thing. It's probably about less than 2 miles away, and they've got about last I counted about 22 choppers sitting there, and they've been doing drills like crazy, just round the clock. Sometimes 11 o'clock, the house will fucking shake and shit, and I'm like, come the fuck on, really? You gotta do this shit while I'm trying to fucking sleep. But yeah, it really, guys. I mean, a lot of it is just you gotta take this shit with a grain of salt, otherwise it'll drive you fucking crazy. Like I gotta my kids watch me prepping and getting shit done and everything, and they ask logical questions. Why are you doing this? I'm like, just because, just in case. And they're like, just in case of what? Just in case. So then I start breaking some shit down, and I watch their eyes go like this. And I'm like, really, it's pretty unlikely this shit's gonna happen. And I feel like that fucker, that goes like, says, no, it's not gonna happen. No, fuck no, we got nothing to worry about. No, seriously, we're good. you know, and I don't know. I feel crazy. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, the Michael stuff. I kind of had a feeling that bitch was gonna be big, and there was a few people I follow that were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, that motherfucker is gonna be some shit. And I was watching, and as that shit went down, how it just buzzsaw through that shit. It was crazy, crazy. That bitch just tore through like nothing. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, the thing, the thing that's troubling to me is when you try to help people and you try to point some things out. Sometimes we play in conspiracy land, and we kind of do some what ifs that we hope aren't going to be crazy and all weird and everything, but they're in a realm of possibility. So it's kind of our responsibility to look at different scenarios and plan accordingly, not to freak the fuck out or anything. Just you know oh, did you? Oh, thanks, Backwoods. I appreciate the shit out of that. So Backwoods is number one. He's the first one to buy one. I'll see that probably pop in my email in a little bit here. MS-13 are bad, yes, but there are good things about the Mexican cartels. You know, anything like it's funny that you brought up MS-13. My wife was asking me why did I think they were working so hard on target practice. Ha ha. We are Earth's herpes, and the planet is trying to rid itself of disease. Yeah, that's not too far off base either. But my wife was like, why is Trump trying to build a wall? Doesn't that affect some families and stuff like that? I said, listen, the the fuckers he's up against uses MS-13 as hit squads, right? So it had plausible denial. If some gangbangers take your ass out, no one's looking at top tier politicians as their handlers. So it just makes fucking perfect fucking sense. Slapping them from a mile away. 50 BMG, baby. Hell yeah. Oh, noodles. Noodles for days. You know. Um, and yeah, at the same time, I'm kind of the opinion that because she was like, well, in some of these states, there's a lot of illegals that are there that are just trying to live their lives. I'm like, that's fine, but the operative word there is they're illegals. And if you look at the predominantly liberal states that encourage them to come, um, I don't really feel bad for them because I know a lot of immigrants that have gone through the process of doing things on the legit, going in, getting their citizenship, working their ass off, et cetera, paying their fucking taxes, not getting freebies and all this other bullshit. And so I really don't feel bad for them. I don't. ISIS was funded by CIA to fight Russia, just like the Taliban. Uh, Muji, Muji, I always fuck this shit up. Moji Hidden. Hidden. Just like, yeah, the Taliban. Yeah. Yeah. Al Qaeda and shit like that. And yeah, a lot of times those fucking boogeymen are created because the previous boogeymens are no longer scary. So when the Cold War was non-issue, just like Putin pointed out, mutually assured destruction is the safest thing. If we both push a button, we all fucking die. No one wants to push the fucking button. Um, but then we needed something else that was scary, and and it's not to say that some of the stuff with Islam is not a threat. There's a reason that Japan says, "Fuck that. We don't allow you in here, motherfuckers," because you have groups that come in and say, "Okay, we have a 4-generation plan. We're gonna come into this area like a cancer. We're gonna breed like fucking crazy. We're gonna get political power. Once we get political power, then we'll affect change, and then we will force our ideology in somewhere else." And I have a very big issue against that. If I still like Asian hookers, good. I applaud your choice. Asians are fucking smoking hot. I know because I married an Asian Filipino. Hotness. Let's see here. Did I miss anything? Why not a 20 anti material rifle? Let's see. Back in the 80s. Yep. Then I'll die happy. I mean, really, the whole concept of death too. I mean, I don't know why so many motherfuckers are just terrified of dying. When you live a good life, and I'm thinking about myself here, uh, your reward is a death. You get to finally rest because you're always fucking working, tired as fuck. So I think most people are just a little bit more afraid of the pain. Dying equates to pain. Let's see. Antifa and BLM are paid terrorists. Not all BLM. I know quite a few folks that support Black Lives Matter, and I'm sympathetic to their cause. I understand why they are protesting, but I don't have any love lost for the ignorant motherfuckers that go block traffic and act like fucking stupid idiots and everything else. I know some Black Lives Matters fuckers that were getting pissed in that Ferguson shit where the same white lady, was getting her purse snatched 3 different times wearing 3 different outfits by the same groups of black guys that were hired to act like they were Black Lives Matter, to create that division among us. Antifa is definitely bought and paid for fucking idiotic droves of fucking, yeah, Soros, pay us some fucking money and let's go out with bike locks and smack motherfuckers in the head and shit. So I don't know any Antifa personally that I can give them any kind of defense, but I have quite a few educated black friends that are BLM that I have very lively and heated discussions with that I respect very much, and I get their points of views, but sometimes I have to argue with them and with my points of view, and then at the end of the day, even though we're yelling at each other, we still love each other. So it is what it is. Getting worried about combat drones with AI is going to be a fucking problem. Drones can be fought, not easy, but it is possible. I agree. BLM is bullshit here in New York. Yeah, none of my friends are in New York. The BLM that I know personally are in Louisiana and Oakland. So the folks that I know that are there, in fact, some of the remnants of the BLM that's in Oakland are remnants of the former Black Panther Party, the old school Black Panther, not this new Black Panther shit that's all fucked up too. No, skulls aren't for thrones. They are drinking tasty beverage out of. Yep. That as well. Agreed, Tenchi. If I go out in a blaze of gunfire and I die, they're gonna see my patches and dog tags, and they will be giving you a call. And you know what? I'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. That motherfucker was a stand-up motherfucker. So if he went out in a blaze of gunfire, motherfuckers deserve to die. They, because he never was problematic on my fucking show. These motherfuckers were fucking great. Any of these motherfuckers that have Lopes in their names, shit, character witness right here. I vouch for you. If you're a Lope, that means you are a free thinking fucking crazy motherfucker, and I get that. Um, that's exactly why. So Garen says I get the BLMs confused. Yeah, because here's the problem. BLM, Black Lives Matter, is supposed to be just kind of an open-ended movement, but um, where they're trying to do peaceful protest, and there's two distinct groups actually. The ones that do the peaceful protest, they follow the rules, they don't do these horrible things, um, and some of it crosses over because I've seen them fight, just like you've seen some of the Antifa fighting Antifa. It's kind of funny. The whole anti-fascist is a joke in of itself because a lot of the tactics and shit that these motherfuckers do is just ridiculous. It's just fucking funny. Um, I'm not a lope. I'm the angry Jackalope. There you go. I do believe Black Lives Matter do matter as all lives matter, just not radical rioting. Yeah, I think the problem is so historically, Black lives have less value than other lives, and that we could sit and do a whole stream talking about what the government has done to the black communities and the experimentation that they've done in the black communities, and just it's fucked up. It is fucked up, and there's a lot of stuff that folks. You're pretty good, Garen. Oh, with the Bureau of Land Management, you're a good. That was good. That was good. Oh fuck, I salute you on that. That was good. You got me on that one. That was pretty fucking good. Um, I now have this on video. You can't deny my future shenanigans now. On that note, I'm out later on. Okay, Backwoods, you be safe, brother. I should be a lope. Apocalypse, boner lope, daddy lope, whichever you want, man. You just let me lope, lope. Boner lope is too funny. Actually, I like the apocalypse. I think that was pretty cool. But it's one of these things, man, where it's heartbreaking. I used to live in a lot of inner city communities. My stepfather, um, he's black. I have a half black brother, physical, like biological brother, and I get to see the racism that exists in our world, and it is what it is. Um, but there is a disproportionate amount of justice that is not given out equally. Put it that way. And it's not really a racist thing. It's more of a green thing. If you come from inner cities and you're poor, you just don't have the money to buy good justice. So it is what it is. Any good recipes for oven baked pork chops? Not that I have. Usually, whenever I do pork chops and shit, I go online and look one up. You know what I'm saying? Yep, shake and bake's not bad. So that's it. We're coming down to the last 9 seconds of the show. I try to keep these about an hour. Um, there you go. I appreciate the fuck out of that. Um, I appreciate you guys spending your Saturday with me. I'm about to pop over to the Robert Ricks live entertainment stuff where things are a little bit lighter. We're going to talk about Fallout 70. Yeah, not Fallout. Yeah, Fallout 76. We're going to talk about Daredevil, some other stuff like that. So that's going to be over at. What is the fucking link here? Hang on, I can just look over on this real quick, and then I will copy and paste it over there. So it is youtube.com. Here, I'll put it down here for anybody that wants to come over. All right. HTTPS colon slash what is it? youtube.com/C, right? C, yep. Robert R. Ricks. And then I think it's live. Boop. So that, let's see. Yeah, that looks right. That's where that's going to be. So if you guys want to follow me over there, that'll be cool. If not, I will see you guys next week. If you like it, please subscribe. Tell your friends far and wide if you want a nice, stylish fucking dog tag. They're up on the Angry Jackalope .sells.com, and this is how they look. They're double-sided. They're pretty trick. My kids like it. I'm digging it. It does include a chain. $8 shipped anywhere in the fucking world. So check it out, and I'll put that link on there too. http://theangryjackalope.com. Did I spell that right? Jackalope.com. Oh, theangryjackalope.sells.com. Bink. There it is. All right, so if you like it, tell all your friends far and wide. Until next time, motherfuckers, please be good to yourself, good to each other. Go out and live life to the fullest. Ride the bus till the wheels fall off. Live life to the fullest. Go find some love, excitement, adventures, all that jab. Live life to the fucking fullest, motherfuckers. Keep your head on the swivel. The world's crazy right now. And I will see you guys next week. All right.